There are moments you don't plan for, moments that slip in between the ordinary, turn a routine day into something unforgettable, and leave you replaying them long after. That's what happened to me. What started as another workout turned into the beginning of a story I never expected to live. The gym was buzzing, music pounding through the speakers, machines clanking, voices blending into background noise. But I barely noticed any of it. My attention had locked on him, Ethan. I'd caught his name once when someone spotted him across the weight floor. Ethan. It fit him. Tall, dark-haired, the kind of guy who looked effortlessly good even with sweat dripping down his temples. His broad shoulders strained against his tank top, chest rising and falling in steady rhythm as he moved from one set to another. We'd never spoken. Just small acknowledgements, a nod if we passed each other in the squat rack, a fleeting glance in the mirror. But that day felt different. Maybe it was the way the air hung heavy, maybe it was the way I felt his gaze before I even saw him. I bent to adjust my grip on the barbell, the mirror catching my reflection. That's when I realized his eyes weren't on his set. They were on me. Not a quick look, not a careless glance. No, his gaze lingered, deliberate, tracing the curve of my back, the way my sports bra clung to my damp skin. Heat rushed to my cheeks, though my pulse was already racing. When I straightened, he was closer. Close enough for me to catch the faint scent of soap and salt on his skin, that clean mixed with sweat kind of smell that felt oddly intoxicating. He reached for a towel near mine, and for a moment, our hands brushed. "Thanks," I murmured, as he offered it over, his lips quirking into something halfway between a smile and a smirk. "You lift heavy for someone so small," he said, his voice low, teasing. I should have brushed it off, but the way he said it sent a shiver through me, tightening something deep in my stomach. And then, just like that, he walked away, leaving me flushed, my workout suddenly secondary to the fire under my skin. By the time I finished, my muscles ached, not just from exertion but from tension I couldn't shake. The shower was supposed to be a release. Hot water hit my skin, steam rising, wrapping me in warmth. My eyes closed, the world fading to nothing but the sound of water and the beat of my heart. Then, the click of the shower door. I didn't need to open my eyes. I knew it was him. Ethan. He stepped in, shirtless, water beading on his collarbone, sliding down the ridges of his chest. He didn't speak, not at first. His hand pressed to the tile beside my head, close enough that I could feel the tremor in his fingers. His other hand brushed lightly against my arm, tracing the line from elbow to wrist, a touch so featherlight it left sparks in its wake. My breath caught. The heat of the water mixed with the cool contrast of his touch. When I turned toward him, his gaze fell to my lips, lingering there, silent but heavy with question. His thumb brushed across my lower lip, an ask, not a demand. I didn't answer with words. I leaned in. The first kiss was hesitant, almost unsure. But once it began, it deepened, hungry, electric, the kind of kiss that stole breath and left the world spinning. His arm wrapped around my waist, pulling me close until water spilled between us, yet the true heat came from him. Every touch, every brush of skin against skin, felt amplified, sharp, unforgettable. He pressed me gently against the cool tile, the contrast making me shiver. His lips traced along my jaw, down my throat, every brush sparking something restless inside me. His hands braced against the wall, holding himself back even as his breath grew ragged against my ear. I could feel the restraint in him, the way every muscle coiled, every movement deliberate. He wasn't rushing, he was waiting. Waiting to see if I would pull away. But I didn't. Instead, I closed the space, fingertips tracing the hard planes of his abdomen, following the path of water down his skin. The moment shifted. His control slipped, just a little. His forehead rested against mine, his chest heaving, his voice a whisper barely carried over the roar of the water. "You have no idea what you do to me." I smiled, though my pulse was frantic. "Maybe I do." From there, everything felt suspended in time. The rhythm we found was ours alone, unfolding slow, careful, then unraveling into something neither of us could resist. The shower roared like white noise, drowning out everything but the sound of our breath, the quiet groans, the gasps of closeness. My nails grazed his shoulders, and he let out a sound that vibrated deep in his chest, more intimate than any words. When it was finally too much, when restraint snapped completely, the world narrowed to the two of us. To the way his hands held me, to the way my heart thundered against his. We came undone together, clinging to each other, the steam blurring everything but this moment. When silence returned, broken only by the steady hiss of water, we stayed pressed close, neither of us ready to move. His breath was warm against my skin, his lips brushing softly against the side of my neck, not claiming, but cherishing. Eventually, the water cooled, forcing us back to reality. We dried off slowly, without words, though our touches lingered, the way his hand smoothed down my shoulder, the way my fingers lingered on his shirt before I handed it to him. It wasn't awkward. If anything, it felt gentle. He kissed my temple, lingering just long enough to make my chest ache in a way that wasn't just about heat or desire. When our eyes met, something unspoken passed between us. Not promises, but possibility. Outside, the sky had slipped into dusk, parking lot lights flickering on, casting a hazy glow. Ethan walked me to my car, his hand resting at the small of my back like it had always belonged there. Same time tomorrow? His voice was rough, still edged with everything we hadn't said. I smiled, heart still racing. Yeah. It wasn't goodbye. It was the first page of a story neither of us had expected, but both of us wanted to keep writing.